Good morning. This is going to be the part 2 of the Anadrole review with the Testo. I know I didn't give a whole heap of a lot of detail when I spoke on the first video, so I figured it might be a good thing for me to try to hit a second kind of version of this, because it's a lot more detailed, it's a lot more involved than what I had placed in that first video. That was more of a trial and error kind of testing thing for me as well. Been a while since I've done online any kind of videos, so but anyway, let's talk about this a little bit more seriously and see if we can come to some sort of a resolution for what it is and what it is not, risk factors, all that kind of stuff. I've taken all of that in consideration before I ever decided to do it. Like I said, I was about 214 and I've been as high as about 217 pounds, fully dressed. And I had a lot of gut fat. I had a lot of, some side fat. And like I said, I still got some going on. But there has to be some sort of regimens or a daily regimen that you need to do. I don't know what shape you're in who's watching this, but if you were like me, you're older, middle-aged, over 200, say over 200 pounds, and you got a gut, you like to drink, say, things of that nature. In order for change to start to take place, there has to be a change of your mindset. There has to be a change of how you approach food every day. All right. Now, I had said in the first video that, I worked out for approximately 2.5 weeks prior to ordering, the supplements of Anadrole and the Testo Max. Now, I had enough research under my belt that I was trying to make sure that if I made a decision to do this, that I want it to be safe, since I knew that there were some risk that I had heard in my research. And one of the risk factors was, of course, the liver damage that can happen from this. You'll find some videos that are on YouTube that will where they will tell you they saw these crazy gains and all this and that, and I can't recall when I've heard somebody say that what their milligram dosage was for themselves, but I can tell you honestly that I had already worked out for about 2 weeks because I was waiting on the supplement to come in to be shipped to me. And with the research that I've done, I wanted to make sure that basically that I was going to approach this in a safe method. So of course I started with just 1 capsule a day. By the time it got here, I had been working out for 2.5 weeks. And I had a lot of body fat on me and stuff. And there was just, I had a lot of that. I'm realizing now, 3 weeks and 3 days in on consuming the Anadrole, I'm realizing how much, because I'm also walking. So guys, if your metabolism has slowed down, which it will do when we're past, I'd say, the age of 35, 40 years old, we start to drastically slow down, okay, as far as being able to burn the amount of calories that we're putting in. So I had bad eating habits, I can tell you that. I was getting to the point, where it was just kind of snacking every night. Chips, ice cream, you name it, whatever. And there has to be that change, okay? There really has to be a change. Weightlifting, building muscle, body mass, all of this stuff, it's a mentality. And I have been working out on and off my entire life. And then I could say that before this time going back to working out, folks, I'm looking at 2 years, 3 years, 4 years maybe somewhere between 2 and 4 years. I'd say probably closer. We'll compromise and say 3 years since the last time that I even tried to lift a weight. Now, I have my own home gym. Not everybody, you know, has that blessing. And some people find out that by working at home, and I'm hoping I'm not chasing rabbits here or rambling on too much, but by having a home gym, it keeps me from having to go to a gym, paying the membership, being around and watching other people lift weights, and comparing myself amongst those around me and watching them struggle because they're putting on way more weight onto those bars than what they should be, or onto the machine that they're working on. And hearing these awful grunts and all that stuff, just the mentality of the BS that can go with that. So, long story short, all right, by getting the supplement in, getting it shipped in, and starting to do that, I want it to be as safe as possible, right? I think we all can agree that we all would rather be very, very safe. This is not an injectable. They're oral. They're taken by mouth. This is supposed to be the best, closest thing that you could find to what would be considered to be illegal. These are not supposedly, quote unquote, illegal, okay? So, because they're being sold or whatever, and they're here in the U.S. So, anyway, taking them, I started with 1 capsule a day, and I took, I think, 2 Testos. Why did I do that? Because I believed that I knew that the testosterone levels were already way low, right? Because I'm 49 years old. So I took the 2 Testos. I just thought that was a good starting point. That was just my personal decision. That's what I did. Not saying you have to do that. Not saying that this is going to not be enough. There's going to be gurus out there who are going to know this or think that they know this better or whatever. And that's fine. And there's going to be people that'll say, you know, well, I started, whatever. This video was simply to just try to be as simple as I could if you're going to choose to do something of this, you know, and give you some results, okay? I had a big belly, you know, and things of that nature. You know, I drank alcohol. It was horrible. So anyway, if you're choosing to do it, I would recommend, not saying this is what you have to do, but I would recommend, if you're going to start to do it, start with 1. Okay, start with 1 capsule a day. It's only 50 milligrams, and take 2 Testo with that. Okay, if you're doing the Testo Max from Crazybulk. In doing so, you know, find out how your body is feeling and what you're feeling. For me, I had no side effects. I never got sick. I never got sick or anything like that, you know, because of it. There was no acne problems or anything. I watched for all this. I still watch for it. I have my wife check my back very often, you know, trying to see if there are anything to do with acne or any of that stuff. And so I haven't had any problems with it, guys. Like I said, I'm 3 weeks, 3 days in on it, and have not had a problem with that either. Now, like I say, everybody's body type is different. But if you're going to try to do this as safely as possible. And that means, and the reason being is that apparently in the research that I've done, you know, it talked about the damages that it can. It was supposed to be the most, Anadrole, the original form of Anadrole was not spelled Anodrole. It was spelled without the E on the end. They've added the E on this because this is a, you know, of course you can't patent, you know, something that's already patented. You know what I'm saying? So, but in any case, you know, this is supposed to be a safer alternative for it, right? So I didn't want to go into injecting and all that stuff, and I've never done any steroids in my life that were injectables. I can't say I have not been tempted in my earlier days, but because of the horror stories that you heard about penises and scrotums and everything else, you know, getting smaller, and acne, you know, and mental attitudes and anger and the stuff that goes with it, you know, that in itself, from all the stories, quote unquote, that I've heard, kept me from crossing the line with that. And then also the availability, right? So when I worked at a Gold's Gym in Florida, there used to be one there in Orange City. When I worked out at that gym, I knew guys that were taking, D-ball and other stuff, but I don't know. There was just something that just kind of kept me kind of free from that. I don't know. So anyway, as far as effects go, I don't feel anything, from the effects of it. I've asked my wife if I seem more irritable or anything. She said, no, if anything, I seem to be better. I'm not saying that's due to the Anadrole or the Testo. She just says that I'm able to handle stress a lot better. And I think a lot of that is because of course, the working out. The taking care of myself, making it a routine to put myself first and to do the right thing while I'm on it. So what did I do? Okay, so here's what I did. I took the 1 capsule a day for about 2 weeks. I marked it on a calendar every day in my weight room, which I'll take you out to in just a minute. It's not really set up right now, but it is set up, but I have to tear it down. It's a long story. Anyway, I have a band that plays in that room, and so anyway, all right, not gonna chase a rabbit with that, but I'll take you out and show you, kind of like what my routines are. If you are middle-aged, metabolism has slowed down, you've got 20 pounds of excessive fat, body fat, on you, you'd like to see yourself down to what you're supposed to be, and you want to be muscular, I believe I have enough experience and info to put in to help with that process. I'm here to help. I implore you to make comments, help me, support me. I'm Mike Thomas. And I have my own air conditioning business. These shirts are kind of wore out now, but Mike's Mechanical Services, that's my business. So I do AC work, guys. So I spend a lot of time in the hot summers in 110 degree attics, okay, and over. So used to the heavy sweating and love to sweat. I don't have a problem with it, But when I'm not in an attic, I prefer air conditioning, okay? So anyway, I hope and pray that this is helpful for you, because I'm sure you've been searching the channels on doing Anadrole reviews, and you're going to hear a couple of bad ones. Not anything bad that I've seen so far that I can recall of somebody having bad issues with it, but just people calling it a fake, people calling it this and that, whatever. Call it what you will. I was 214, 217 in the very beginning, with a lot of body fat, and it's done a lot. It has really helped me to be full, all that good jazz, So, it's and right now I'm sitting at 16 3/4 inch arms. Okay, I'm almost 17-inch arms now. So it has helped a lot. It's helped a lot. It's helping me to bulk to get where I want to be, and then I'll start my serious cutting after this cycle becomes towards the end of it, which I was gonna do 6 weeks of it, so I'm already halfway through that, but I don't know. I may decide to go 8 weeks and then cut off, or 12 weeks and cut off. I don't know. It's all going to depend on results and how I'm feeling and all that. So, but anyway, I implore you that if you're going to give this a try, please be safe about it. Do some research on Anadrole, what it was originally. Apparently, it was something that, because what it does, apparently in my research, is the red blood cell counts for your blood, they almost triple. All right, so it makes your blood much thicker. And there was a reason for that in AIDS patients back in, I think, the 30s or 40s, whenever it was first coming. When it was first coming out, it was in the 30s or 40s, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 30s, 40s when it had first come out. And then it was used in AIDS patients because of their depletions of muscle, that they could take this and it thickened their blood. It allowed them to put on some sort of muscle to their skeleton. So because they disintegrate bodily wise, people that are suffering with the AIDS, and of course you guys remember the epidemic that went on with that and everything else. But in any case, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say about it. I would say start the first 2-3 weeks. Just take 50 milligrams. Leave it at that. There's 120 capsules in the bottle of Anadrole from Crazybulk, and you know, if you do this right, you shouldn't have to buy a second bottle unless you're going to go longer than 6 weeks. Okay, you shouldn't. I do not recommend doing 200 milligrams, 253, 400. People that have done over the 300 mark, 250, 400 milligrams of it, that many capsules, these are the guys that, you know, eventually started to have liver failure and problems with that. Jaundice, this stuff can supposedly, quote unquote, cause what's called yellow jaundice. So, you know, I check for all that under my eyes, any of that stuff, yellowing of the eyes, any of that stuff. And so far, so good. Everything has been great. Like I said, I have my doctor's appointment February 28th, going to sit down with my doctor personally, take blood work, check my liver enzymes, check everything that's happening with me, be honest with that doctor. And I think if you choose to do this, I think it'd be a safe bet to go ahead and be honest about that, and make sure that you're being looked after, that you're checking up on these things and making sure. You don't want to, like I said, I'm not trying to do Mr. Olympia, but I wanted to put on some really good size and lose the weight and get my metabolism back to be able to burn off like I used to. So in the process of all this, guys, I'm walking every day about 2 to 3 miles with my wife. We walk around our neighborhood, and that to me has been I don't know how, I don't understand all that side of it, but I know I feel different. I know that my calories are depleted by the time I go to bed. Your first 2 meals in the morning, guys, are going to be your most important. So make sure in the mornings, your first 2 to 3 meals are going to be your most important. So I like to walk the neighborhood on a fasted stomach. Okay, so that means that after I've gone to bed at night, I normally try not to eat anything past the 7 o'clock time frame, 8 o'clock, and then I kind of hit the bed early. That's just me. And then that way, when I'm up in the morning, everything's digested. I'm on a fast basically at that point, and I walk in the neighborhood 2 miles, 3 miles, and that way I can burn off whatever's left, and then the body can absorb from the fat that was on me. That has seemed to work perfectly. It has seemed to work perfectly with the Anadrole with it, I'm doing Prevail from the Jay Cutler Nutrition. So I do the Prevail pre-workout. I get fired up. I get out there and I do my routine. I have a white erase board that's out there. I have 4 different ones side by side on the wall that I keep up with what I'm doing every day. I work legs. I work top. So I guess that's about all that I can really say about it. So please like what you're hearing if you like it, because I'm here to help. I'm here to kind of like all the naysayers about it and stuff like that. So far for me personally, I haven't had an issue, and this is me trial and erroring with it. Okay, so I don't know everything, but I'm taking my time with it. I'm trying to do it right, trying to do it, safe, and that is always going to be the key to success. Is just doing this. Don't go nuts with it. Just don't go nuts. Just take it slow. Take it slow. See how you're feeling. When you start changing your diet and getting in the protein that you need, and getting in your omega-3s. Learn what saturated fat is, monosaturated fats and polysaturated fats. Learn about that stuff. That's what I did. You just research it. Google is a very, very unique tool if used correctly. And you get to learn about those things. And then when I jot down the things that I learn and I hang them on my refrigerator, and I'm able to see that on pretty much a daily basis, and it helps to get things in my memory bank of what these different things are, what's healthy, what's unhealthy cholesterol, what's going to cause that, how to avoid blood clots. I mean, all these things as we get older, there's just so much. and so if you have questions of anything like that, if I can answer them, I'll give you an honest answer. If I don't have one, I'll search it out and then do a video on it, and I may choose your question to do that video on. Okay, guys? So anyway, we've been on here for about 20 minutes now. I think that's a long enough video. So hopefully I've given you all the information that you needed, okay? As far as deciding to do it and how to do this, I believe to be the safest way. That's the way I chose to do it. All right, so anyway, you guys be blessed. Thank you for watching the video. Just give me a like if you like it, subscribe to it or whatever. I'll have more content coming out as the process of this next 3 to 6 to 8 weeks is going on while I'm on the Anadrole. Okay, so anyway, guys, y'all have a blessed day. I'll talk with you guys the next go around.